It's your own boy, Tino, Stanley, you know what? Cool, listen. Tiano. No secret is hidden, no that is so.
Hello guys, good afternoon, happy Sunday. Thank you for the love.
from the House of Heritage Studio. This is Stanley Cole. Wait, Tino, Noni.
Hello, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are actually watching us from. Right, Naija Watch is back. As you all know, we are still on the Edo State election. We have a great, prominent, very important Edo son that is coming here to talk to us about their efforts so far in the UK concerning the September 19 election. So we're going to bring him in now because we can see him in the backstage. So we're bringing him. Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Naija Watch. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It's nice to have you on our show. How are you doing today?
I'm all right, thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much for your acknowledgement. We are very grateful that every Edo indigenous, this is the first time we see everyone participating in Edo State election. Before, people used to say, I'm not interested, you not concern me and all that. But it seems to show that everyone is fed up, everybody is tired, and we need a change that will add positively to our life and our future. So it's nice to have you on the show, sir. I would like you to give us a brief background of yourself.
Thank you very much. My name is Deacon Olovba. I would like to give a very, very brief background of myself. A graduate of the University of Benin, and while there, I was a student union government critical committee chairman in 1998. And from there, I went to Oyo State for my National Youth Service. Now, to tell you the beauty of my Doism, my service year in Oyo State was just for 2 months, and I was redeployed to Benin again because I uncovered the fraud in First Bank where I was serving. So I was taken back to Benin, for safety. Now, why I brought that in is to tell you that I have been in Edo State from cradle. I went to Ewieneva Primary School, St. Xavier Road in Benin. I went to Naija College, Passakuta Road. I went to University of Benin. And the only time I left Edo State was to go for service. And that did not last beyond 2 months. And I went back again to Edo State. So it's been home. And the only time I left Edo State beyond 2 months was when I came to the United Kingdom. And I will not fail to commend a mentor, an Edo man, a typical Edo-born, culturally inclined man who also taught me serious cultural values and the respect for our tradition and culture. And that is Reverend Dr. Chris Usagbaho. He's a man that taught me the morals of the Edo nation. And I would not fail to ascribe my gratitude to him for bringing me up in such a way when I came to the UK. So I want to say that Edo State has been my home, and I'm passionate about everything that concerns Edo State.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you today. We thank you for your time and for your brief information. So we are here to talk about Edo State election. And we learned that on Thursday, 10th September, you and your group of Edo indigenous under the aegis of concerned citizens of Nigeria and Edo State extraction went to the Nigeria High Commission. I would like you to tell us why you and your group went to Nigeria High Commission, and we also learned that you guys went or submitted a letter to the British Prime Minister as well. So I would like you to put us through why you went there.
Well, you've said part of it. We went to the Nigeria High Commission. That is sequel to submitting a letter, a petition to the British Prime Minister, Right Honorable Boris Johnson. And the essence of that letter was to appeal to the President of Nigeria, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, to allow for a free and fair election in Edo State. And as you know, if you petition someone, it is appropriate for the person to have a copy of the petition which you have written. So, following due process, after submitting the letter to the British Prime Minister, we proceeded to the Nigeria House to submit a copy to the High Commissioner for onward transmission to Nigeria. And the content, a summary of the content of the petition is actually asking the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to ensure that a free and fair election is conducted in Edo State. The President of the country is the father of the country. So the entire state are his constituency. So if anything is happening in Edo State, the person to cry to ensure that there is peace and harmony is the President.
Okay, thank you very much. We would like to know, why do you make this move?
Oh, that's a good question. Why did we make this move? Our group came together and realized that we are standing for at least 18 people from Edo State. We are standing for a minimum of 190 persons from Edo State. We are standing for an average of 2,100 people from Edo State. Now, you may want to ask how I came about these figures. How did we came about these figures? Edo State has 18 local governments. And I can tell you, without recourse to any documentation, each of those 18 local governments have at least one person outside the shores of Nigeria. Edo State has 192 voting wards. And each of those wards, without, thinking twice, every ward has somebody in diaspora. And we have 2,100 units. Every of those units have somebody in diaspora. Now, why did we try to connect these 18, 192, and 2,100? We connected these figures, these numbers, and said we are standing in for 18 people. We are standing in for 192 people. We are standing in for 2,100 people who have families and friends in Nigeria. If anything happens today, I can assure you, if there is a loss of life today in Edo State, I can assure you at least one person in diaspora would have been affected. So we decided to come together to say, you know what, we are in diaspora, we are in England, and we enjoy democracy. We enjoy peace and tranquility. We enjoy harmony. We enjoy the peace that goes after election. And we feel it is going to be, morally wrong for us, having enjoyed those things abroad, to not promote the opposite back home. So we came together under the aegis of the concerned citizens of Nigeria of Edo State extraction to approach the British Prime Minister with a petition. And that petition, just for you to know, garnered signatures of just under 2,000. And considering the fact that that petition was made at a very, very limited time to the election, but it garnered such enormous signature because everyone across party divide want peace. So that's why we went to the British Prime Minister as well as the High Commissioner.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for that analysis. I would like to ask you, how much do you trust the appeal? How do you think this will be considered by the president of Nigeria?
Well, at times when we do things, we look at precedents that have been set. I'm a deacon, and I anchor my precedents on the scripture. I'm going to refer us to the book of 2 Kings. I'm just going to explain what it talked about. 2 Kings chapter 2, from verse 1 to 14. That is the precedence on which we anchored our hope and belief. Now, that precedence means when something has been done before and you have seen that thing done before, the confidence that it will be done again is there. What that means is in 2 Kings chapter 2, from verse 1 to 14, is the story of Elijah and Elisha. These are major prophets and minor prophets in the Bible. Elisha was a servant, as it were, to Elijah. Now, when Elijah was to be taken away by God, Elisha was with him. And as they were going, they came to a point where it was impossible to go forward, and that is River Jordan. River Jordan was in their way, and Elisha was looking at his master Elijah. Elijah took his cloak, rolled it into a mantle, and struck River Niger and struck the Jordan. As soon as he struck the Jordan with his mantle, the river parted. They walked through a dry land, and the river came back again after they crossed. Now, after Elijah was taken up by wild wind, as he was going, he dropped his mantle. When Elisha was returning alone this time, he came face to face with the same River Jordan. Now, one thing that came to his head was, I have seen this water parted ways before. I have seen it happen before. So I have the confidence, I have the faith that it will happen again. He took the same mantle and struck the water, and he parted ways, and Elisha went through. Now, the morals of this is Elisha was able to exercise that faith because he saw the river part ways before. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I have seen a free and fair election done in Nigeria before. And interestingly, President Muhammadu Buhari is a product of a free and fair election. President Muhammadu Buhari contested against an incumbent, President Goodluck Jonathan, and he won. So, he is a product of a free and fair election. That is what gave us the confidence that a man who is a product of a free and fair election will also promote a free and fair election. And also, we have read from different sources on social media spaces where the president has said, unverified, have said those should be allowed to determine who governs them. He has said that, and we believe in him. If there is one thing I believe about President Muhammadu Buhari, is when he says a thing, in his own heart, he believes. And we believe that being a product of a free and fair election, and a man who also has said he will allow the people to determine who governs them, he will look at our petition and he will answer to our request. That is our confidence, and nothing wavers in that confidence. I can tell you that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Right. I just hope this faith works for every one of us, because we understand what has been happening in Nigeria before. I don't want to speak negatively, so I will stick to the positive side, hoping that something good, Edo State will come up with a peaceful election. So, what do you think about the two major candidates concerning the forthcoming election?
Well, the two major candidates, incumbent governor Godwin Ogagase Obaseki and Pastor Usagi Izeyama. These two people have been found worthy by their parties and followers to fly their flags. So I'll tell you, the party of the governor have so much faith in him that he will deliver. So is the party of the opposition. They have so much faith that he will deliver. Now, what do I think? Right now, as an independent-minded person, clamoring for peace, I think both of them earned the trust and confidence of those who decided to make them their flag bearers. Now, what I now expect of them is delivery. These two candidates have done robust campaign. If I tell you that the APC have done less campaign, I may be economical with the truth. And so is the PDP. These two parties, these two major parties, have done very, very robust campaign to sell their ideas. The PDP is selling the mega manifesto. The APC is selling the simple agenda. Now, the contents of both manifestos are supposed to be people-oriented, and they have done their best possible to ensure that the people are the ones that drives their agenda. So my thought about the two political leaders in this contest is they've both done well at their various party levels. They've all sold their ideas very, very well at debates, at campaign rallies, and every other means, including Zoom meetings that they've had severally across the world. So my thought is they have sold themselves. They should now go to the field and let the people decide without resorting to self-help, without clamoring for war, without clamoring for violence. They should go there. They've done well in their campaigns. They should go to the field where the PVC and the ballot box will now be the determinant of who becomes governor.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. You're right. If they allow a free and fair election for the Edo indigenes, it will be fair. But some are scared, worried over ringing. But, we don't know what's going to happen, though. But let's see how it goes. I appreciate you for answering all the questions. We still have a couple of questions to ask you, sir. I hope you don't mind.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, good. So what is your advice to the political parties involved in the forthcoming election? All the parties.
Yeah, well, my advice to all the parties is this. Politics, just like every other endeavors of life, is a win or a lose game. But the only negative is the way we have reduced politics in Nigeria. where it has become a do or die affair. I'm going to ask the politicians to take a leaf from the father of the nation, President Muhammadu Buhari. He contested for president several times, twice. The third time he got it. The one thing that made him to become president in 2015 is because he was alive. If he had died in the course of trying to become president through election violence, he wouldn't have been president today. I want to say to the political parties that as you go into this election, think of your followers. As a leader, you cannot lead in void. You cannot lead in emptiness. You lead people. Without a people, there is no leader. If someone dies today, the person will have no opportunity to even correct his mistake tomorrow. There are politicians who tried, political offices several times, but they eschewed violence, and in the end, they got to where they wanted in life. It will be a shame for someone's death to be date of death, September 19, 2020, on the altar of what? Election violence. It's a shame. It's going to be a shame, I must tell you. If it's possible for the dead to look at themselves and either applaud themselves or shame themselves, I'm sure anyone who dies on the altar of election violence should be ashamed. It is not a pride, it is not heroic for your family to come out tomorrow and say, he died as a result of election violence. No, that is not heroic. So I'm going to say to the political party that they did something, and we, under the aegis of the concerned indigenes of Edo State, we did what we did on the premise of what our father had already done. It is like saying in Edo, Baba where? The my way when you're not. Even Baba Kae. That's what we did. What we did, the originality of what we did at the Nigeria House is bedrocked on what our royal father had already done. We built on what our father had done. Our father, the great Oba of Benin, Oba Eware Nugidega II, had already laid that foundation and called these political parties together. And they promised on their honor, they will ensure that there is peace during, before, during, and after the election. And do you know one thing about whatever you say to the Oba? What if you say a thing to the Oba, you must not do the opposite. Because we respect the ancient throne of the Benin Kingdom. So when these political parties went to the Oba and he admonished them, and the two major players promised on their honor that there will be peace before, during, and after the election, we knew that that was a step towards a peaceful election. You will agree with me that there's never been this toxic campaign in Edo State. I have experienced a lot of political campaigns in Edo State, from Bender State to Edo State, the UPN and the MPN, the Ambrosali, the Odigi Oyeguns, the Lopigbenedians. We experienced all these political campaigns, and manifestos and everything. The most toxic campaign in history is this current one that is happening now. And if we are able to scale through this ordeal without a single life being lost, then we would have set a pace, not just for Edo State, not just for Nigeria, but for Africa, that no matter your political view, you can still approach the ballot box and determine who leads. Let me tell you something quickly about what I expect of Edo Indigenes on the 19th of September. Before now, people can fight. Fisticuffs are used in settling scores. People go out and they exchange blows to settle their scores, to settle their differences. But as time evolved, people took their anger to social media. That is why Mr. A can quarrel with Mr. B without physically throwing punches. They do it via social media. They fight via Twitter. They fight via Facebook, Instagram. You hardly see people come together now and begin to exchange blows. Why am I using that analogy? I'm using that analogy in the case of the forthcoming election. If you are angry, you have a right to be angry with PDP because you believe that they've not done well. You have a right to be angry with APC because you believe APC has not done well. You have the right to be angry with the Labour Party, SDP. But where do you take your anger to? Where do you take your fight to? You take your fight to the ballot box. Go to the ballot box where you will exercise and vent your anger with your index finger. People don't know how powerful they are. It is not the physical strength that determines how powerful you are right now. It's just your index finger. That finger that will determine who leads you. So, I'm going to say my thoughts about the political party leaders is they should ensure that none of their followers dies. Simple. If the PDP ensure that their followers don't die, the APC does same, nobody will die. So that is my advice. That's my view.
Okay. I'm going to come to the ballot box because you mentioned the ballot box. People should take their anger, their plight, everything to the ballot box, which might result to their to the result they expect in the September 19th election. So, but some of us are worried over the electorate. You know, we don't know what's going to happen. Like on social media now for the past 48 hours now, you know, there's some news going on social media that this election might be rigged. So what do you say or advice do you have for the electorate?
Right, thank you very much. The election may be rigged. Do I believe that? I said no. I'm going to be very, very positive. Why do I say that? INEC, as an independent body, has put in every measure possible to ensure a free, fair, and credible election. INEC has encouraged everyone at their unit level that when you cast your vote, you wait for your votes to be counted. And when the votes are counted and the party agent signs the form that they are happy with the votes, before the votes are taken from the unit level, to the ward and collation center, the result is pasted on the wall of every unit. And electorates are encouraged to take a snapshot of their result, of their unit results, and send it out straight away. Now, a result that has been snapped at the unit level, if I am in unit 1 in Oredo, and I snap my result at unit 1 Oredo, I will expect the same result at the collation center. When I hear a different result from the result I have in Oredo, then I will query that result. Now, don't forget that the snapping of this result in question is not done by just one person. So in a ward, we have a minimum of 100 persons in the ward. If 50 people snap the result on the wall, there is no way you can tell me that the snapped results of 50 people are wrong from the one that is been altered, if there is any alteration. Then number 2, today we hear of the hashtag snap and send. Hashtag snap and send is to mitigate against people who may want to intimidate voters. In time past, people will come to the polling units and brutalize voters and scare them. But this time around, measures have been put in place. If somebody is brutalizing another to disrupt the election process, somebody would have snapped and sent. So we have people to hold accountable for disruption. And I tell you, there is nobody who wants to leave their houses on the 19th to the polling unit with the intention of not returning. So when you know that measures have been put in place to ensure that you don't cause problems at the polling unit, you will advise yourself to conduct yourself in the most appropriate manner. And also, the snap and send does not end within your unit level. If Mr. A is not meant to be a unit 1 on election day, if you know Mr. A is meant to be in unit 5, and you see Mr. A in unit 1 on election day, snap and send. Because the Electoral Act does not permit you to move from your unit. So by the time you move from your unit to another unit, you have violated the Electoral Act. Snap and send will easily fish you out. So these measures have been put in place to guide against, electoral malpractices, anyone being scared that I will go and my vote will not count, anyone being scared that I will go and I will be beaten up. So,
okay.
So I think
I have to come in on that. If we have to look at it statistically, the measure that they put in place for the snap and send technology. I mentioned the word statistically. Technology might be an hindrance to that. Are you going to tell me that is everyone that have access to mobile phone, or everyone that knows how to do this thing? Is it everyone that actually know what hashtag means? So I think there will be some difficulties in that snap and send. What do you think about that? Before more questions, sir.
Right. I said earlier on that a unit has a minimum of 100 electorates. Now, a minimum of 100 electorates. In that minimum range, you will have, at least, no matter how remote the unit is, how remote the location is, in that 100 people, you must have at least 5 people that will have a mobile phone. We're talking about 100. So that's why the snap and send is not restricted to a particular person and say you would do snap and send. He said anybody would do will snap and send. So
Okay.
that should cover that.
Yes, yes, that answered the question. It means that when anything is happening on the site, anybody could use their phone to snap what they saw and send it, right?
Yes, anybody. Yes.
Okay, right. So due to time, but we still have about 3 to 4 questions to go. I hope you don't mind,
I'm all
because
right. Thank you. That's fine.
oh, thank you very much. We want to ask you because for a while now, many are complaining about security even before Governor Obaseki came to power, and even as he's still on power right now as the governor of Edo State. Some of us said he has done well. He stopped agbeism, he stopped CDA, and he stopped so many other distractors. So those have been disrupting us for a while. Now, I'm going to ask you, what do you think about the Edo State security? What do you think is going to happen after the election as well, in general?
Well, when you talk about the security and what the present government has done, I wouldn't want to talk on the side of what he has done. So I wanted you to rephrase the question. Is the question on security talking about the security for the election or
Yes, we're talking
security?
about the security for the election. Yes.
Right. Security for the election. Like I said earlier on, one of the social contracts of a government is to provide security for the people. And that social contract is a contract entered into by the state, local, and federal government. So, as far as Edo State is concerned, I can tell you that security is guaranteed. If you, we are seeing trucks of military personnel in Edo State in the past 24, 48 hours. What I will say to that is there is no cause for alarm.
Okay.
Because those security are not meant to kill the indigenes of Edo State. They are meant to protect the indigenes. And I'll tell you why I say that. If you approach your polling units on the 19th of September and you start exhibiting characters that are not acceptable in an election period, then you will get curtailed. Nigeria is not a banana republic where you see a man walking, on his own normally without causing any problem, and you go and brutalize such a person. Now, what I will say is every electorate, every voter, as you go to your polling unit, go decently, dress decently. There's no need, don't harm yourself. Don't have knives on you. Don't have gadgets, don't have knives on you, don't have objects on you, because it is when you have things that are inimical to your fellow man that somebody will stop you and ask you why you are having this stuff. So the security that we see in Edo State today, they are meant to secure the people. They are not meant to kill the people. And I want to say one thing. Wherever those security came from, the president has the sole responsibility as a commander-in-chief and the chief security officer of the state, of the country, to provide security for everyone. So if anybody says that is coming from presidency, so be it. But on election day, it is when we now know if those security are for the people or against the people. But as it stands now, those security you see there, they are for the people. And I want to believe that. And I want to tell you, with the way we have gone with this election in Edo State, it's going to be free. It's going to be fair. It's going to be credible. Those soldiers will protect the people. They will not harm the people.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have two more questions to go so that we can let you go. Now, do you expect the loser to congratulate the winner at the end of the exercise?
Like every election, the loser is meant to congratulate the winner. But there is a condition for that congratulation message. And what's the condition? If it's a free, fair, and credible election. I will tell you once again, it brings me back to 2015, after the presidential election. Why people were still clamoring and thinking of what President Goodluck Jonathan will do in his home in Bayelsa. He picked up the phone and called President Muhammadu Buhari to congratulate him. Why did he do that? He analyzed the results, he analyzed the situation, and concluded it was free and fair. It was a keenly contested election, and he believed that the people wanted President Buhari. He took his phone and called. Now, in this election, I expect a free, fair, and credible election without the interference of any external agency, without anybody being molested, without any distortion, alteration to figures. Once that is done, whoever wins should be congratulated. And I'll tell you once again, like I said, you only contest after losing an election if you are alive. So I would say they should approach this election with the mindset that after the election, they will be alive to learn from it. So a free, fair, and credible election, the loser will congratulate the winner. I can guarantee you that. But if that is absent, then there might be legal crossfires, which we don't want. That is the essence of clamoring for peace, because we want election to be done on the 19th of September, swearing to be done on the 12th of November, and then Edo State carry on, as normal. We don't want long-winded legal battles between the political parties because they felt some were disenfranchised from casting out or exercising their rights. So for this to happen, I call on Governor Godwin Obaseki and Pastor Osage to ensure that their followers promote a peaceful environment for the election, and also call on the federal government once again to impress it on all the security agencies that people should be allowed to exercise their franchise. Above all, within the locality of Edo State, I would like to remind the key players, the leaders of the political parties, that you don't say one thing to the Oba and go out there to do another. They have promised peace, they should ensure peace. So with that, the loser will congratulate the winner.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have one last question we are going to ask you. As you all know, you mentioned about their followers. We all know that there's a lot of tension right now. The followers, Pastor
It's 16 hours.
The followers of Pastor Sageze Yamo and the followers of Governor Godwin Obaseki, most of them don't like themselves at the moment. So they're fighting themselves on social media, physically, and all that. So my question to you now is, if any of the two candidates, any of them emerged as the Edo State governor, what do you think those both home and in diaspora should expect?
Well, what those both home and in diaspora should expect is development. Because the reason why we are clamoring for this is because we want our states to be developed. We want Edo, to be a hub you know, for education, for industries, for agriculture, and many more developmental things. So I expect that after this election, that's why I said earlier on that we don't want a long-winded legal battle after election. We want this election to be done and dusted on the 19th of September, swearing in done in November, and the new government, hit the ground running, because we need more infrastructure in those states. So what we expect in diaspora and both at home is qualitative life for our people in Nigeria. Good livelihood, lights, salaries paid as at when due, pensioners respected, and the beauty of this is that the promises, the people that are campaigning now know that the electorate will hold them accountable when they come into power and refuse to accomplish or to go by their manifesto. They will be held accountable. Why? We are wiser now. Gone are those days where you tell somebody that you're going to build a bridge, and when you come into power, you will tell them you will just put concrete on the floor. We'll hold you accountable. So we expect nothing less than what is in their manifesto, the mega manifesto and the simple agenda. We expect nothing less from them. And also, quickly, you said something about the crossfires between party supporters. I will tell you one thing: those crossfires are just for this election. I can guarantee you, even most of these supporters are already friends. Some of them, after crossfires on social media, they hang out together to drink. And also, what I would say to the key players is, please, as you are campaigning, know that your expertise will be needed to also promote Edo State. You don't need to be a governor to promote the state. Today, President Jonathan still goes to Aso Rock to see President Buhari to discuss the country's affair. That is because they did not pass in a toxic note. On a toxic note, they parted amicably, handed over amicably, and that is what we expect. So if Pastor Saidi Ezeyam today is not the governor of Edo State, I expect him to still approach the government house and say, I think this is what we can do to ensure that Edo State move forward. And vice versa. If Governor Baseki is not there, he should still sell his ideas to Pastor Saidi Ezeyam. The bottom line that we, under the aegis of the concerned indigenous of Edo State, is saying is that there should be no self-help. There should be no interference. Let the people decide. And when the people decide, on the 20th of September, everybody will be winners.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much for your time. We really do appreciate you, sir. Deacon Henry Olara. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce the surname properly. We really do appreciate your time. We are going to do this again after the September 19 election. So we'd like you to come and cement what you have said today, in case it goes your way or it didn't go how you have explained it to be. So, or how you have expected it to be. Thank you very much, sir. We are going to end the show now. We want you to use 1 minute to advise those in diaspora and those that lives at home. Just 1 minute.
All right, thank you very much. The advice I have for those both at home and diaspora is there is no winner in war. There is no winner in war. When you go to the war front, anyone who has claimed that he won is the one that has got the less casualties. In other words, some people would have died. So there is no winner in war. We should encourage our families and friends back home in Nigeria to go about their electoral duties peacefully and exercise their franchise without causing any violence. And in the end, like I said, on Sunday, the 20th of September, those will be the winners in the end.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Once again, we appreciate your time. We hope to do this together again. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you very much.
Have a blessed day.
Amen. And you too.
Right. Thank you all. We've done this. We are still on the Edo State election. We don't want to give up until after September 19, when the rightful candidate emerges as the Edo State governor. We are not giving up yet. We are still going to continue to push. We want God Almighty to let the rightful candidate emerge as the Edo State governor. We don't know who, but whoever God knows that will have the people of Edo State at heart should be the next governor of Edo State. Thank you, everyone. We are coming back again at 6 p.m. as we have two Edo sons coming live here to debate. We have Pastor Sagi Ezeyamu, supporter, a dedicated, consecrated supporter for that, coming to defend his principle, while we have Governor Godwin Obaseki, supporter, coming here to defend his own principle. So don't fail to be with us in the next couple of, just 2 hours from now. We are bringing these two Edo sons to life here. Thank you very much, you all. We are ending the show right now. We appreciate you. Please subscribe to Naija Watch. Don't forget to share this video. As you all can hear what our brother said, is calling for peace. They went all the way to Nigeria High Commission to seek for peace. They went all the way to the Prime Minister's office to seek for peace. This is the height of concerns. So I want everyone watching right now to do their best as well. Talk to your people back home to go vote, so that whoever you wish to become the next governor of Edo State shall come after September and shall be announced. Thank you all. We appreciate you all. We are coming back in a couple of minutes from now. As I said before, we have to debate here. I know you guys like the debate. Like my senior brother just came now. He was the only one talking. You know, I understand everyone still like that, but you guys like debates, you know. But remember that what my brother said today is what we need. You know, he analyzed it accordingly. He analyzed every question thrown at him. You know, we want peace, free and fair election. So we meet you guys by 6 p.m. Thank you very much. Have a blessed evening.